Start by checking the nap direction of the velvet. It should match the nap direction of the side panels. Position the lace over the velvet and adjust it until the placement looks balanced. Begin basting along the first long edge, sewing from the wrong side. Because lace has an uneven surface, sewing may feel slightly challenging. The feed dogs move the fabric forward while the presser foot mainly guides the layers. Turn the piece to the right side and adjust the lace as needed. Stitch along the second long edge very close to the edge using the longest stitch length. If needed, lift the presser foot occasionally to release pressure and realign the lace. Long tweezers can help guide the fabric accurately under the presser foot. This stitching only holds the lace in place for the next steps. Trim away the excess lace around the panel. Finish by giving the piece a good press so the lace lays flat. Now we can attach the side panels to the middle section. First, I sew a few short stitches at the top and bottom edges. This helps align the seam flat and keeps the panel from shifting while handling the large seam in between. Next, I sew the entire seam from bottom to top using a long stitch length. This ensures that all layers join perfectly with no folds or shifting at the joints. Because the stitch is long, it's easy to rip and adjust if anything goes slightly off, without damaging the fabric. Finally, I sew a second seam right next to the long stitch using a medium stitch length. This gives the seam full strength for the back and keeps everything stable. Press the seam allowances in the same nap direction while the piece is lying flat. When the outer body is assembled, these seams will meet in opposite directions, helping reduce bulk under the presser foot. It's time to assemble the outer body of the coin purse. There are 2 points to focus on carefully. First, the bottom seams of the front and back panels should meet perfectly to create a continuous line from one panel to the other. I like to sew just this bottom section first using a longer stitch length and check that everything lays flat. The next important part is sewing from one notch to the next. Only the bottom side is stitched here, since the top will be attached later with the lining and the clasp frame. To reduce stress on the seam, cut small triangles into the seam allowance. If you want to add embellishments as shown in the next step, turn the purse inside out. Otherwise, continue as it is. While we are at the sewing machine, we can assemble the lining as well. Start by marking the center of the top and bottom edges by folding each piece in half and making small notches. Place the lining pieces right sides together and sew from notch to notch, following the same method used for the outer body. After stitching, trim the seam allowance along the entire seam. Because volume fleece was used, reducing bulk here helps create more space inside the purse and improves the final structure.